until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida where the sun shines all day. It just caught me a grouper. So fishing in Florida. Oh yeah, fishing in Florida.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for taking time to join in. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. This morning, I have Carolyn Stash with Atlas Trax with me. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to my friend, Carolyn, at Atlas Trax. Good morning, Carolyn.
Good morning, Riscala. It is an amazing day out today.
I hear that I saw a post about beaches opening up in Jacksonville. I saw a couple of posts about boat ramps opening up here and there. I know that you are pretty close to the water. What do you see out there?
I can tell you right now that I don't have a boat in my backyard, which means the guys went out fishing this morning about 6:30. They're going to try and fly some kites, but I'm looking at the Hillsborough Inlet cam, and in the last 2 minutes, I've seen no less than 20 center consoles going out the inlet
Wow.
for a flat, calm day.
Wow. Well, hopefully, prayerfully, we will begin to get back to some kind of normalcy. I don't think that we'll ever get back to normal after going through what we've been through, but I'd like to get as close to that as possible. And one of the things we can do is go fishing, which I haven't been able to do for a while. I was getting what do they call it? The binges. You know, like when you're addicted to something and you can't get it, you go through withdrawal. I was going through withdrawal. I can't go fishing. I have a park that's literally within walking distance of me, and I take the grandkids down there. We put a couple of worms on, just have some fun. I couldn't even go to the park. They shut the park down. So it's pretty bad. But I am ever so grateful that things are opening back up. We are slowly getting back to some degree of normalcy. I don't know what the latest is on the essential business stuff is, but I can see that we are making progress to working our way back to the way it once was before. And I know that I think that are you on the water? Am I right? You have a dock in the back?
Yes, I'm very fortunate. I have a dock in the backyard. I am halfway between both the Hillsborough Inlet and the Boca Inlet, so we're about 3 miles from each inlet. So I'm pretty lucky. I can look out and see what the tide is, do a little fishing off the back dock, which I do plan on doing today by myself, which is my solo project for the day. And, when these guys have a tracker on the boat, one of my Atlas Trax trackers, I'll be able to know when they're coming on back in, and I could clear all my friends out. Pretend I was all by myself. So.
I just had a wicked thought. You put one of those in your parents' car, so when they go out and they say, well, we'll be back in 9 or 10 o'clock or whatever, you put it in a car and then you can track them. You know when they're coming back, you can tell everybody to leave.
That's absolutely true. And you know what's funny with these trackers too is when I do see them coming back, they're pretty lucky. I put the gas grill on, I get some burgers and dogs.
Oh my!
They'll be tired, so they like it. A lot of the men like having the trackers on the boat.
Wow!
For safety, but also to get a meal in their tummy when they get back.
I really am amazed at how much you can do with one of those little things, and the fact that it's small, portable, waterproof. It doesn't have to be mounted, that kind of. That's pretty neat. I've always found a degree of what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the right word. Where you're amazed by something, I can't. The right word won't come to mind.
Mesmerized.
Yeah, that's it. It's just like mesmerized by electronics from a very young age on. The first thing I ever. What really got me going was a friend of mine. I called him a nerd. We would call him a nerd nowadays. He was anyway. He lived about 5 houses down the street from me. Came over to my house one day, and he had this. The biggest thing for me. Now I'm going to reveal my age. The biggest thing for me growing up was having AM radio. Oh, got to have an AM radio. So he came over, and he had what appeared to be an AM radio, but he had 2 of them. I thought, oh, maybe he's going to give me a radio. Wow. So he said, he showed me what it was. It was a walkie-talkie. It's the first time I ever seen a walkie-talkie. And I went, from that point forward in my life, electronics was a vital component of my life from that point forward. I've always been around electronics. It's just something that has always caught my attention and curiosity. And the technology, as it has progressed, it kind of makes your head spin a little bit. Imagine, we have things today that you can hold in your hand that in my day would have taken probably 8 or 9 different pieces of equipment in order to be able to do what we do with that little thing that goes in your hand. So, yeah, technology is phenomenal. And when you're talking about something like this, all over the planet, and it's hard for me to wrap my mind around it. All over, anywhere on the planet, within 10 feet, you can find whatever it is that you're looking for if you have an Atlas Trax.
Absolutely. And as you know, marine is my hobby, so that's where most of these trackers are going. But that we can put them on a whole bunch of other strange things, like I had mentioned.
I love the
to our
icebergs.
listeners, icebergs and vehicles and trailer tractors and horse trailers, and it's just on and on. But today, for example, I will be acting as the at-home worried person, that I'll be able to log on, see where the boat is, see how many miles they've gone, where are they flying kites, when are they coming back. All that information I, as the person at home that's worried about them, is going to be looking for today.
It's the amount of information is just unbelievable. So many things you can do with it. I like the idea where you go out fishing and you have it with you and everything goes fine, and you come home and you go, I want to look at where we were when we hit that group or whatever that was that you were doing, whether bottom fishing or top fishing, and you can go back and actually pinpoint where you pretty close where you were, right?
Absolutely. You can actually pick anywhere along your route, click a latitude and longitude button, and it'll put exactly on the map where that was and what time it was.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Oh, my goodness. So did you do any fishing this last week?
No, I was not lucky enough to get out. It was a little bit strange with the weather. It was seas, there were small craft advisories all week. But, no, I was not able to. I was a little disappointed I wasn't invited today, but it was a recently retired firefighter after 30 years, and he wanted to go out and play, and Chris took him along. But, it's funny, Riscala, I'm looking right now at the map. I could tell you right now that the guys are out right off the inlet, and they're looking for bait right now. That's what they're doing. Wow.
Well, the marine forecast is looking good for those of you who are thinking about going out and are able to go out. Today they're calling for south winds coming out of the south, 5 to 15 knots. Seas are around 2 feet. Intercoastal waters have a light shot, and there is a slight chance of showers. We are getting into that summer cycle slowly now, where during the afternoon it kind of heats up a little bit, and we get some moisture in off of the ocean, and you just got to keep your eyes open and stay away from the nasties. But there's a beautiful day waiting for us out there, and there's a lot of stuff opening up, so you don't have the excuse anymore where I can't go out. We may not be able to go to all the places that we used to go to, but there's still some places that are opening up, and there's still some areas outside where you can enjoy the sunshine. One thing about some people may not realize, your body produces vitamin D when you're out in the sun. I don't know how long it takes, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes, I think. So your body produces vitamin D when you're out in the sun. So when you go out in the sun and your body's producing vitamin D, you're actually boosting and reinforcing your immune system. Vitamin D is one of the strongest components of the immune system. So get out there and enjoy it. We've got a beautiful day waiting for us. And I hear Robert there. Good morning, Robert.
It is a beautiful day.
Good morning, Robert.
No wind. Good morning. How is everyone?
Well,
we're excited because things are starting to open up. Jacksonville Beach, a couple hours in the morning, couple hours at night. People can start getting out a little bit. So I'm thrilled.
Anything opening up?
The public ramps are still closed here in Martin County on the weekends. They're open all week, closed on the weekends.
What?
But the private ramps are still open, and they do allow any commercial guys to go out through Sandsprit Park or Jensen Beach.
Wait a minute. Did you say the ramps are open Monday through Friday, but they're closed on the weekend?
That is correct.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. I don't know how do you respond to that? So let me make. I want to make this clear in my mind. Monday through Friday, the virus is on standby, but Saturday and Sunday it's live, so you can't go.
Apparently, there's a bigger number of people that would be out there on the weekends, so they're trying to. We have one sandbar here. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
We only have one, and they have that closed. So maybe they'll start. They figured out how to close it off. So maybe maybe they'll start letting them out on the weekend.
My goodness.
The one weekend they did let them out, there was like 5 million people at that sandbar.
Yeah, I can somewhat understand where the people who are in charge of that stuff are coming from, because I've seen it firsthand where people just take advantage of it, and some of that is the blame falls back on us, because we should use a little more common sense. I mean, okay, the boat ramps are open, and all of a sudden everybody in the world goes to the boat ramp. You should realize that the first day or the first couple of days that thing's open, it's going to be cram-packed. So either you wait, or you go super early, or you go in the middle of the night when there's nobody there. Just a little common sense. But I am grateful that we are slowly opening things up. Did you do any fishing this last week?
I did not. Yes, I did. I did some snook fishing at night over here at the boat ramp. But we have a private boat ramp here in the neighborhood, and it's great snook fishing there at night because there's a little dock and there's mangroves there. And there's a light on the dock. So.
Yeah, the
snook fishing is good there at night.
Excellent.
But other than that, no, I have not. And looks like I'll be starting again on the magazine here, the next issue soon, so I won't be able to for a while. But I decided May the 8th was as far as I'm willing to go with all of this nonsense, and then I'm getting out of here. So.
I think that there's a lot of people who
I created my own deadline, so May the 8th I'm done. So.
Oh, there's a lot of people who are frustrated that they want to, we want to get back, we want our lives back. And
well, they're gonna open the county up May the 8th for most things, a lot of things, and
Martin County or
social distancing restrictions and
Martin County or Palm Beach County.
Restaurant, Martin County.
See, I don't know what they're going to do with Palm Beach County. I have no idea. Have you heard anything, Carolyn, about Palm Beach County being open?
Well, I heard that Commissioner Boca is going to try and have a meeting on Tuesday to at least open the beaches for limited times. A couple hours in the morning, couple hours in the afternoon. So hopefully that'll go through. But everyone's anxious to get out, and it's funny. I have a little bait freezer in the garage. I keep walking by it, open it, looking inside, and thinking, what can I take out to defrost and fish off my dock here? So maybe a couple silver sides and. See what I can come up with. But, all I do is walk by and make sure it's still plugged in to focus on that thing. Because you know what happens if that comes down, gets unplugged and defrost.
Ooh, yeah. That is a smelly situation real quickly right there. My goodness.
Yeah, that goes bad quick. Yep.
Doesn't take long.
But let me tell you a funny story. What's great about the bait freezer, I keep putting ice cream in the house, and it keeps disappearing. So I had decided now that my personal ice cream I take and I put it in the bait freezer because no one's going to look there for it. When I want it, I go get it.
Buried under the shrimp.
That's where you hide the good stuff. The good stuff goes in the bait freezer.
While I'm thinking about shrimp, I know that you ended up finding I couldn't find them. And then all this nonsense started, so I never did go back. But my friend with the shrimp burgers, did you ever try them?
Yes, I did. I bought a 2-pack, as you know, and I pan-fried one of them. It was delicious. I used it with just on a bed of lettuce, no sauce, nothing. It was really, really good. And as a matter of fact, maybe I'll eat the other one today.
Wow. Yeah, I'm going to try again once things settle down a little bit more. I did go to the store and asked them. They said they were out of stock at the time. I said, well, you haven't eaten it back? He said, no, but we're supposed to get some. He wasn't sure on what the next truck was that was coming in. And then all this insanity started, and I never did go back and follow up. But we're going to have Rachel and Margaret Covello on a little while. They are the fishmonger-approved ladies, and while we're talking about the fish burgers, they're going to give us some ideas about, we're still, kind of stuck inside and get tired of cooking the same thing. I asked them to come back on because they have this fantastic ideas that we can use to kind of take the boredom away from, you're at home and you're limited to the areas that you can go out. And so I think a lot of us are either going to be alcoholics before all this is over, or we're probably going to gain about 20 pounds before all this is over.
No doubt. I mean, the same here. I mean, I'm out of mixers and too lazy to go get them. And even when you go to the store now, they have taped arrows on which direction you can enter the aisle in, which
silly.
is a good idea, but a little bit awkward.
I think that we're just carried away with
Pictures
this.
are really not all that important. So.
Yeah, that's right.
Just a little carried away with all this stuff. I'm up with the being safe and all that, but it looks like the numbers that are coming across are not what we originally were told they were going to be, and so that is probably the main factor that is weighing in on us being able to get things opened up and hopefully somewhere back to that place where we call normal, or close to it anyway.
Well,
Robert,
in the midst of all of this, Jack Carlson is going to do the Bull and Cow tournament May 2nd in Marathon.
are they going to be open?
He was going to shut it off, and he decided to keep it open. It'll probably be mostly residents of the Keys, but the Bull and Cow tournament in Marathon will go on May 2nd with Jack Carlson and all the guys from Two Conchs Charters and all of that. They're going to keep the contest. They're going to keep the tournament open, so they are going to run it. He said instead of 120 boats, they'll probably have 30 or 40, but they're going to run it anyway.
Wow. Well, good. I mean, and the more we can do to try to bring life back to some degree of what was, before all of this went on, I think that something that few people are speaking about, and that's the effects of being at home and not being able to socialize. We're social creatures. We enjoy being. Let me back up a minute.
That's the part that's killing me slowly here, but
some of us enjoy being with other people. But I mean, generally,
anybody who can get out, the cobia bite is just on fire right now.
Ooh.
Seems like on both coasts, cobia is. They're picking them up in the Keys. They're picking them up out of here. They're picking them up on the West Coast. So there are cobia around, and they are fun to catch and really fun to eat.
Oh, they are. They are. It's like a little torpedo in the water, that thing. You have any idea what they're using for bait?
No, but I can tell you what I used to use. I used to use barracuda tubes.
Barracuda. Oh, I know what that is.
They look like a giant worm.
Yeah. Wow. And they hit that, huh?
Oh, yeah, they love those.
Wow. I didn't think I'd like something like that. I'm learning. That's one of the reasons I do this show. I'm constantly learning about all kinds of things. I've learned so much. Well,
And I do know they're picking up some dolphin out here at, I think, 300 feet. They were getting some pretty decent bull dolphin in the last couple of days. So I'm hoping to get some of that back here later today, too.
You lucky girl, you. Not only...
Riscala, if I promised you, if we get some, I will personally bring it to you. I might have to leave it on your doorstep.
Yeah,
but I'll bring it up for you.
No worries. I know that you have somebody up here that you wanted to... Eventually, you're going to come up here, right?
Absolutely. Yep. I've got to get up there for a really big project, but their office is closed down, and once they get back, then I'll definitely come and have lunch with you.
We talked about the bizarre things that Atlas Trax has done, like tracking ice. Oh my gosh, I'm losing it this morning. All the different things that we can track, but one thing that you mentioned that I thought was really, really kind of, I don't know how to describe it. I live in an equestrian area where I'm at, and there are people out here that have horses that cost more than my house. And you had said something to the effect of they're going to use them for the horses, something like that?
Yeah, we're working on some harnesses and doing some testing with some of these the trackers that you speak about that you can put in your hand on some horses because, I hate to say it, they're very valuable, and people are old enough to come into a barn and walk a 1,200-pound horse out of the barn. It's a big problem.
I'm not exaggerating.
We want to try and help that, and some of these end up being, unfortunately, children's pets that we hate to say the word, but they end up getting slaughtered. So it's something that I want to try and, slow down or stop or help or. So it's a project that it's really dear to my heart as an ex-horse owner. So
yeah, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you there are people out here who have horses that are worth more than my home, horses that are in the hundreds of thousands of dollars in value. I was shocked, and the only reason I know this is because the equestrian area is literally a block away from where I'm at. And when I walk with my dog every morning. I walk through the equestrian area, and some of the horses are very, very friendly. They'll come out and say hi to me. And I happen to speak to a couple of the people out there, and there was this gray one that just happens to come to mind. Beautiful gray horse, like silvery colored horse, and braided on the back, and just a really sharp-looking thing. I asked the lady there, I said, what kind of, I don't know spit about horses other than they got 4 legs and a tail. I don't know what kind of horse it is, and she told me what kind of horse it was, and the background, and the pure blood, and blah, 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 blah. And I said, if you don't mind me asking, what is a horse like this? What is the value of a horse like that? This particular horse was $240,000 is what it was valued at. A horse. Oh, my goodness. So when we talk about protecting a wide variety of things, icebergs, airplanes, tractors, cars, boats, horses. We have horses. We track horses. It's pretty wild. It is pretty wild.
Yeah, all of that. And I know there's some project going on in Saudi Arabia, but they won't tell me what the project is because I like telling people. So I'll have to see when I'm clear to tell what that is. But that's, I think, on vehicles over there. So that's going to be something interesting.
Well, Robert, it's that time again. We're running out of time. But before we go, I want to give you an opportunity. Robert is with the Florida Fisherman magazine. I usually say that ahead of time. I'm off today. I'm so off. And if you have something that you would like to send him, he's going to tell you the address. Go ahead, Robert.
Well, they can send anything they want to send in for the magazine. They can send to pages@flfishmag.com. And right now, if they want to catch the current issue with Carolyn on the cover, they can go to www.flfishmag.com, and you'll see Carolyn there. And you can just click on the cover, and that magazine will open. And we'll be starting on a new one sometime after the 20th.
Great. Robert, thank you so much for taking time to call in. God bless you, my friend. I greatly appreciate what you do for me. And hopefully next week we'll have some fish stories because more and more stuff is opening up.
Well, there's fish stories out there. Like I said, if you can get out there, the cobia are out. And, you know, Carolyn was saying there's mahi out there. So if you can get out there, there's fish to be caught. And they haven't had the pressure on them that they normally have. So they're probably a little more eager. And it's a good day to be out.
Yep. Well, thank you, Robert. God bless you. Wish you an awesome day. And let Carolyn say goodbye to you, and we'll go to a break. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Absolutely, Robert. Hey, I'm going to call you later so we can pick that coloring contest winner.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Tight lines.
All right. You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with Carolyn and Riscala. We will be right back.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Riscala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclubb.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
Have you ever heard of Audible? Audible is a website with hundreds of thousands of audiobooks. They're all high quality, easy to listen to, and, best of all, if you take advantage of a special deal that we've worked out for you, you can get one for free. That's right, a free audiobook of your choice in any genre, simply by going to audibletrial.com/openeyes and signing up for the free trial. It's simple to do, and it would support the shows that we bring to you, and hey, you get a free book out of the whole thing. So why not take advantage of it today? Go to audibletrial.com/openeyes and sign up for the trial.
Being a dad is an adventure full of special moments.
A cruise?
Right!
Unexpected moments.
I got this.
And even awkward moments.
Okay, Dad, thank you.
But every moment you spend with your kids, even the smallest moments, can make the biggest impact on your child's life. So take a moment to be a dad today.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing in Florida when the sun shines all day. It just calls me a grouper. So I'm fishing in Florida. Oh yeah, fishing in Florida.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. It is the Fishing in Florida Show. This morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax with me. If you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to my friend Carolyn at Atlas Trax. I want to say a big thank you to WCET FM 101.7 out of Columbia, South Carolina, our home network. While I'm thinking about it, we are working on an app. I have the app completed. I hope to have the app out in the stores and within the next week, possibly 2 at the most. The advantage of having our app is it has no commercials in it. There's no spyware in it. It is simply a player. It's all it is. Very, very minimal amount of memory that will be used on your phone. There are no push notifications. You know, when you download some of these apps and they tell you that they're free, there's always a catch of some sort. They're using it for advertising purposes and things of that nature, and I understand that. We're not doing that. What we're trying to do is make it as easy as possible for people to listen to us. So if you're not in Columbia, South Carolina on 101.7, you can find us on the web, www.wcetfm.com, and we have a player there. You can also find us on Facebook. If you go to our Facebook page and click on Contact Us, you can call in to listen if you like, 701-719-9704. So we're working on making it easier and easier for people to be able to access the show. In the meantime, HighPoint Radio, 1690 out of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. A big thank you to you. KYAH, 540 AM out of Utah. A big thank you to you. And Marina Rock Radio, our latest affiliate. Marina Rock Radio is Yacht Rock's sister station, and they are out of Miami. Thank you, Marina Rock Radio. And they happen to be a tune-in station. So if you have the TuneIn app, you just tune in to Marina Rock Radio, and you'll be able to pick up our show as well. So let me bring Carolyn back on. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Well, thank you very much, Riscala.
And my next guest, I enjoy this man because he's the kind of guy that you give him lemons and he makes lemonades. And that's exactly what's happened in the experience that I have had with him. He has had a sour set of dealing cards, if you will, and turned them right around and made good use of it and brought a positive outcome out of it all. So let me introduce you to Bruce Marx. Welcome, Bruce.
Riscala, good morning to you and you too, Carolyn. How are you two doing?
Great, Bruce. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Little crazy times, but we move on.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now, one of the things that I enjoy about people like Bruce, he got the short end of the stick one time. He came out to his boat and found that somebody had decided they wanted his equipment more than he did. And instead of being a victim, he went out and became a victor. He made a tremendous difference here in South Florida with regard to the theft of these not portable devices, the electronic devices that are on the different vessels, as well as the vessels themselves, because we had at one time a serious issue here in South Florida where boats were just being stolen right and left. And because of the efforts of people like Bruce, we have put a definite chunk of that, taken it out. And if I remember right, Bruce, I think because of you, they caught some of these people, right?
Yeah, that's correct. The South Florida Boat Watch, Marina and Boat Watch Facebook page went up a couple of years ago as a result of me being a victim. And people joined that page. I don't even know how many members we have now, probably 12,000 or more, who are reporting suspicious activity. If somebody has a boat that's been stolen or a lower unit, they put it up on the page, and that page has led to many recoveries and arrests. That page also led me to form a separate page called the Wanted South Florida Marine Theft Task Force that now is in place with a network of officers who, as soon as they see something posted on the page, they interact internally and are in a better position that they were in before to get the bad guys. So, like with Carolyn's product, a lot of times these folks will go steal a boat and stash it somewhere just to see if it's got a tracker on it. A lot of times these owners, unfortunately, don't engage the product before they go to bed. The trackers aren't pinging, and the thieves come out there and go back and to where they stashed them, take the boats to the chop shops and chop them up. But the owners that do engage the product before they go to sleep sometimes find them to be recovered because the thieves don't want to bring something that's tracking into their chop shop just to be having a door knocked down 20 minutes later.
Yep.
Because the police have located the stolen vessel.
Yep. Let me point out something else that I admire about Bruce. Is there's no question that all of us are going through a very difficult time, and some of us is more difficult than others. And Bruce is the kind of man who gets on our social media and promotes something positive out of all of this. What am I talking about, Bruce? Let's share that with the listeners.
Okay. Yeah, when this thing was going on, everyone was, and I'm sure still is, in a state of shock. You go through these various phases of mental instability. First, you got to be told you got to stay home. Then you got to watch the same stuff on TV, try and get some work done, and you start getting cabin fever.
Yep.
So and as I was going through my Facebook feed, we all see the daily political talk, and I just call it for what it is, in my view, political toxicity. And we obviously have a country that's got a great political divide, and everyone's entitled to their opinions. But I'm one of those guys that really doesn't want to see or hear somebody's opinion on something, whether it be the president, a running mate, an election, because every post that goes up, even if it's the most innocent of political post, will inevitably, by the third comment, turn into what we always see, the yelling and the screaming and the insults. Mm-hmm. And I, for one, I'm just tired of looking at it all. I got my views. Nobody cares about my views. And I don't really care about anyone else's views. I frame my own opinions, and that's it. So I figured, something, let me see in these times, because it's bad enough we got to worry about the virus and whether what we're being told is true. Let me create a Facebook page. And I created a Facebook page called Stay Positive South Florida. And the Stay Positive South Florida Facebook page was created with the idea of there's a lot of good things to talk about.
Amen.
There's a lot of good things to share. There's a lot of good things that we enjoy in South Florida, and they certainly outweigh all of the political insanity and the insults that I see, at least on my feed, daily. So I created that Facebook page a couple of weeks ago, and I've invited people to take a pause, take a breath, sit back and relax, and just go onto your phone, find a picture of a tarpon that you caught, a sailfish that you caught, a sunset, post that. And it's become a pretty big hit. There's over 2,000 people on that page, and people are sharing stuff that don't follow with the 300 comments of, oh, you're an idiot. No, you're an idiot. and it's kind of, it's a whether you want to call it a safe space or a safe place on Facebook, call it that. But it's just, for me, something that I felt was necessary to do. And it's been a success. And there's some very interesting stuff that people put on there. Great wildlife pics, great pics about catches, great comments about the various areas that they live, of restaurants, and it's what it was meant to be. It's a positive site to go to without having to get that carpal tunnel in your thumbs because you're too busy texting back, telling somebody what a moron they are or how wrong they are. You know,
Yep.
Nobody's going to dispute a sunset or a sunrise.
No. Now, this is going on 4 weeks now? Is it going into its fourth week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and how many people?
Oh, I think there's over 2,000, close to 2,500.
So here's what I like
I'll tell you what, there's 2,600, and there's a hysterical video that just got posted 11 minutes ago, Bruce. It's a gentleman that created a fold-down fence. You know, we all have those 6-foot fences in our backyard. Half of it folds down and now creates a tabletop, and then he's setting up a barbecue with his neighbors. So go to the page. It's really funny.
Wow.
Yeah, actually, I just saw that while I was waiting to come on. I mean, you know, stuff like that, and people laugh, and you know, there's some very good photographers out there that share photos that are really awesome.
Some really awesome, awesome pictures.
It's a good. In my view, it's a good place. You know, I don't think anyone's reported any member contact violation, and it's just funny stuff that allows you to get out of your head. Because I'm finding more and more, even before the virus, when you go through Facebook, you're just seeing all of this division, and everyone wants to blame everybody. And it's just like, come on, folks, you know, everyone wants to claim they're flying the American flag, yet at the same time, with this whole, divided we fall concept.
Yeah.
And my goal, I wish that Facebook would ultimately come out with a political spam filter, so I don't have to see it. Just go right to spam. You know what I mean? But maybe that's coming.
Well, I will tell you that I became a follower of the group. I was pretty quickly after they started, and it just exploded. Some of the neatest pictures. People are putting some of the most beautiful pictures up in there. The thing that I enjoy about it is that, again, you know, you'd have to be sleeping under a rock not to realize that every one of us is going through some kind of a difficult time right now, some more than others. But when someone like Bruce steps up to the plate and says, you know what, enough of the negativity, let's bring something positive. Because there's always, if you look for the positive, you'll find the positive. And that's what he did. And a lot of positive remarks. I know that I kind of look forward to going there and see what people are posting. Have you heard anything about the ramps locally opening up, Bruce?
Yeah, well, listen, I heard you guys talking about that before. And, of course, that was the other page that I opened. And for the viewers, the Facebook page is called Open the Boat Ramps and the Marinas /Fuel Docks. And I opened that last Sunday, and that's grown to over 2,000 people. And that, to me, I used to be a boat ramp user. I happen to have the luxury now of having my boat on a lift. I'm not subject to any orders. If I want to go out fishing, and I have gone fishing during this quarantine, I press a button, my boat goes in the water, and I'm out, and I'm fishing.
Lucky guy.
And I could have easily just said, you know what, great, less people out there, more fish for me. But I thought it was fundamentally unfair, and I get it. And I'm not going to get in that whole police state thing where some people think abuse of governmental power. I understand why the mayor of Miami did what he did, because in this pandemic, when we're seeing people dropping dead left and right, you've got to do the right thing and the cautious thing. But the thing that irritated me the most about the closing of the boat ramps is the stated reason for why he did it. And that was the congregating at the sandbars and all the sandbar activity. And when I was a younger man, I was knee deep in the sandbar. But, other than driving by on the way home from a fishing trip and just checking out the insanity, I don't throw an anchor. I don't go in the sandbar. It shouldn't be that the sandbar folks that violated social distancing should have been the reasoning to shut down ramp access for the rest of the people that don't engage in that behavior. So I started that Facebook page, and I've got a few politically connected friends who are connected with the right people, and I let them know, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up this page. Please have the mayor and his aides start reviewing the comments. I've asked the people, let's not turn this into a political insanity. I'm going to delete the comments if you're going to be disrespectful to the mayor. This is a situation. As with everything else, there's a lot of Monday morning quarterbacking. I don't know what I would be doing if I was the president. I don't know what I'd be doing if I was the governor of New York. I don't know what I would be doing if I was the mayor of Miami. I think all of these government officials are doing the best they can with the information that they have. So I'm never going to take shots at these folks. But what I am going to do is, if I see some governmental action that I question or if I think is unfair, then I'm going to bring it to light. And so we started our Facebook page, and that thing grew within a week very quickly. And a lot of people, commercial and non-commercial, have expressed their viewpoints. And the reality is this: when I did used to use a ramp, I know how open air the ramp situation is. It's not like we're going down the aisle in the supermarket to get some milk and cheese where you're within 2 feet of each other. The boat goes in, wear your mask, tie it up to the pier, go park your car, walk back to the finger pier, unhook from the dock, and go off on your boat. And there is no reason, and that's how I felt, and that's why I opened up the page. There's no reason to punish the folks that just want to get away from the insanity if they're fortunate enough to have the ability to do so. Leave the parks open. Let them go use the boat ramp. This is not going, in my view, it's not going to be a source of an outbreak and the spread of COVID if people just act responsibly. And yes, we have our fair share of irresponsible boaters. But after what happened here, I have to believe that everyone is going to act a little different. They're going to act, even in Miami, and I say that very cautiously, even in Miami, I think the boaters are going to act a little more cautiously and courteously if the mayor agrees to open the parks. And I know for a fact that some good news is coming. The Facebook page created a lot of pressure. There are a lot of comments being read on that page by the mayor's office and his aides and his advisors. And I have it on a good source that it looks like Miami ramps are going to open this week. They're going to do a slow. They're going to take it slow. I think there is a plan to do it during the week and try to avoid the mass migration down there, so they can kind of get everything dialed in correctly. But there's also going to be certain restrictions about anchoring in the bay because they want people to keep their social distancing. Mm-hmm. And all we can do is hope that nobody makes the mayor go back and close if people start acting inconsistent with the orders. And that's the message, that once I get the okay and when I'm told by somebody that this is now, the order has been entered, everybody has a responsibility to tell everybody else, hey, if you're going to go booze it up on the water, stay 50 feet away. Don't raft up. Don't call attention to it, because that's just going to get on social media. They're going to have helicopters in the sky. The FWC is going to be out there, as well as other agencies. You're going to get some heavy fines if you ignore the order, and then you potentially have the effect of, shutting it down again. So that's where things stand right now. But I think this week there'll be an announcement from the mayor's office. So something real positive that everybody's going to like.
Hot dog. Great. Well, Carolyn was sharing with me. She had gone out one day and said that she was coming back in. Share that with me, Carolyn.
Sure. Actually, this was the date that the sandbars all got closed down, Bruce. I was out fishing, just two of us, social distancing, coming in through Lake Boca. It was more busy than the Boca Bash, and I couldn't believe, going down the intercoastal, that how many boats wide, 4, 5, 6 boats wide. The wake was amazing, and as I was driving back, we were coming back to the house, like 3:35, the Palm Beach and the governor shut down all the sandbars at that point. And it was insane. 12, 15 people on the boats, chicken fights, sharing beers, but just blatantly out there. So I was pretty disturbed by that, and we got what we got because of that kind of action.
And I think it was the video on social media of that, what you're talking about, what led our mayor to simply say, you know what, if this is what's going to happen, I can't call them wrong. I'm not an epidemiologist. I'm not an expert on this disease, and I dare say most of these people on Facebook that are making their negative commentary towards the government, they're not experts either. At some point, everybody has a responsibility to just act reasonably and listen. And if you act reasonably and listen, you're not going to force the government leaders to take action that's going to be adverse to your interests. And so that's why he did what he did. And I can't blame him. I thought it was an overreach, but I understand he doesn't want a pipeline going back to the sandbars where people aren't practicing social distancing. But I think this time around, people are going to get it. And those people that don't get it will get a hefty fine. And I think the FWC will be making examples of those people, and then that'll get posted, and then you're going to have a decision. Do I want to go out and avoid the social distancing requirement and get a $500 fine, or do I want to listen to people and just simply say, let me comply, let me enjoy my boat, and let me thank the mayor for opening up the waters again?
Do you think, and I'm just asking for your personal opinion, do you think there's going to be a time when we don't have to worry about this anymore?
I think that there will be a time, but I think the new normal is going to be people wearing masks for some time to come. I think they'll open up the workplace. I think people will be going back to work, but I think we are going to be over-sanitizing our hands, as we should be. And I think that people are going to be required to wear masks. I think that this thing, it's like when they fight those forest fires in California or even the ones in the Everglades. You think you beat it down, and then an ember flares up, and then all of a sudden you got another fire you got to fight.
Right.
And I think that's the analogy.
That's what they're trying to avoid.
Here.
Yeah.
Well,
I believe that there's going to...
Just a quick switch of gears, because something Carolyn's been helpful on. I've been bending her ear on this whole GPS issue as it's unfurled. At the boat show, Furuno made an announcement as a result of the work and the push on the Facebook page. Furuno has become the first MFD manufacturer, the GPS units, to install and integrate a PIN code requirement upon startup of the unit, which was a big announcement at the boat show. So I wanted to throw that out there, because the last time we were talking about this issue on your show, we were ramping up for the boat show. But Furuno made this announcement, and now they set the bar. They've now become the industry leader on GPS protection. So I wanted to bring that up.
That's excellent.
Remind you about that.
And I can't help but say that was more than likely as a direct result of your efforts and what you have done. As you know, so many people have had the nightmare of walking out to their vessel and finding something stolen, and the sick feeling, the pit of your stomach that you get from that, and then just kind of suck it up and walk away and say, well, there's nothing I can do. Versus someone like Bruce who says, well, you know what? There's a lot I can do, and this is what I can do, and this is what he's done. He's come a long way, and made a tremendous amount of progress. Bruce is the evidence that if we will work together, we can get what we need out of our government. And we have to do it in a responsible way, and most importantly, we have to work together. And that's just not, generally speaking, it's not happening. We haven't been able to work together even before this virus thing, because as Bruce has mentioned, as most people know, there's a serious divide in our country. We have to come to a point where we accept what it is and try to make the best out of everything. And that's what I enjoy about people like Bruce. He gets people throwing lemons, he figures out how to make lemonade out of them. I really appreciate people like you, Bruce. You know, for one of the things that I enjoy is I'll be honest with you, I got kind of down. I mean, I'm in my house. I can't go to work. I can't earn a living. The bills don't stop. The electric bill still goes on. The cell phone bill still goes on. All the stuff still goes on, and your mind starts to, what am I going to do, and this and the other. And then I'll go to some place like the boat ramp thing. I got such a kick out of that because I found a story that hadn't been posted yet, and I posted it in the boat ramp, and so many people saw it and liked it. And I said, hey, you know what? That's my little microscopic piece that I have done to help raise the awareness, to help people feel a little bit better. More and more, if we just reach out and try to work with each other, be responsible out there. You know, Bruce, you said something very, very, very important, and that is when we get to the point where they're going to relax things. Don't be like a little kid and take advantage of the situation and make it worse for everybody, because they're not going to just come after you. Eventually, it's like what Carolyn said. She's coming in, and there's a whole big party out there. And so what was the result of that? Shut down everything for everybody because of a small group of people. So if we can get the attention of that small group of people, hey, go out there, have a good time, but follow what you're being asked to follow so that we don't have to suffer. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. Bruce, thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. You're a wonderful guy. It has been an honor to know you and to know some of the things that you've done. I really, really do admire your ability to you're down at the bottom of the pit, but somehow you jump right back up out of there and figure out how to make it work. And that I appreciate. Let me let Carolyn say goodbye to you, and I'll give you an opportunity to finish any comments, and then we'll go to a break. Thank you, Bruce.
Absolutely, and I do want to mention that while Bruce is doing all these wonderful things, he's still working full-time. So he's fitting all these things in around his very busy schedule. So, Bruce, thank you for that, and thank you for always being out there in front and cheering us on.
What an inspiration.
Well, listen, thank you both. Carolyn, thank you for all the text back and forth when we were going through this issue with the GPS. And I know you're doing some things with your product to make it safer. And I always never have a problem in putting your product and name up on the page because I think it's important. The only way things get better is if information gets out there, and what better way to do it than through social media. And Rascala, thank you for the time because, you know, getting on and having discussions like this makes people aware. I'd be happy to have more people get on that Stay Positive South Florida Facebook page. So for those of you that are listening now, please join. You'll be immediately accepted. And the only requirement is nothing political. Everything else is fair game. And just make somebody smile for the day, and that's the goal of the page.
I love it. Thank you, Bruce. God bless you. I wish you an awesome day, my friend. We are up against a break. I am looking forward to having you come back on and giving us an update. Other than that, we'll talk to you soon.
Take care.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Rascala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Fish, Florida.
are no perfect answers, but that's okay because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
For more information on adoption, visit adoptuskids.org. A message from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclubb.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
Want to give your pet the celebrity treatment? Have you heard of Hollywood Pet Grooming and Care in Royal Palm Beach? They're located just off State Road 7 and have been servicing the area for 14 years. Hollywood Pet Grooming and Care is the home of the Blueberry Facial, also specializing in tartar removal with 8 years of assisting in dental procedures. Hollywood Pet Grooming and Care? They're more than just about dogs. They are the only experienced cat groomer in the area. They also cater to all breeds and sizes and open 6 days a week. Hollywood Pet Grooming and Care, located just north of the Super Walmart in Royal Palm Beach. You can find them at 250 Business Parkway. They specialize in shampoos with no extra charge. Flea and tick dips also available. Hollywood Pet Grooming and Care. You can give them a call at 561-793-9992. They also provide gift certificates for those looking for that special present. Hollywood Pet Grooming and Care. 561-793-9992. They're located in Royal Palm Beach. That number, 561-793-9992. Call for your appointment today.
This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
We have ignition. Strap in. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah. Fishing and blowing on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, good morning. If you're just joining us, not to worry. We will have an archive set up here probably by the end of the day, if not by 12 noon tomorrow. Usually I try to do it on Sunday. Anyway, we will have an archive set up, and the easiest way to find any of our archives is to go on Facebook and find our page. Our page is Fishing in Florida. Give us a like while you're there. That makes us relevant in the searches. And you can find a link to all the archives there, as well as, of course, being able to listen to the show there. Well, let's see. Our home network, WCET FM, a big thank you to you, 101.7 out of Columbia. You can listen to us on the web as well, www.wcetfm.com. KYAH, 540 AM, and they are out of Utah. Big thank you to them. They also carry our show. Marina Rock Radio. Marina Rock Radio is Yacht Rock's sister station. We started out with Yacht Rock, and they transferred us over to Marina Rock. Both of those stations are TuneIn, so if you have the TuneIn app, you can use the TuneIn app to actually tune in to us if you are listening to Marina Rock Radio. Anyway, this morning I have Carolyn Stash with Atlas Trax with me. Good morning, Carolyn. Welcome back.
Good morning, Riscala.
It's this being caught up in a house all the time, it's really starting to affect me. Oh my gosh. I was going to barbecue last night and get ready to getting everything set up out there, and silly me, I left the barbecue. I got doing several different things. I left the barbecue. I said, well, I'll get to it in about a half hour to get it out there and get it ready. And it rained. It soaked my charcoal. It soaked, oh my gosh. So it was like, oh, where's your common sense? You didn't look up in the sky to see. I tell you, I'm slowly losing my mind.
Oh my goodness!
What do they call that?
That's totally heartbreaking. We have one of each in the backyard, and I'm not very good at the charcoal. I know it tastes better, but that's a
yeah. So I had to get rid of it, and then charcoal gets wet. It's like, forget it. You're not going to be able to do anything with it. You have to let it sit for like a month because it's like a sponge. So that it's like, I think they call it mental degradation is what I'm going through.
Well, I have to tell you a little story. I have a customer from the Fort Lauderdale area, and he was going stir crazy. He drove his boat all the way to the west coast of Florida to find a boat ramp. Went fishing all day. I was mentioning this to you earlier. Was way overdue. The family started calling the Coast Guard and freaking out, and where's my dad and all of that. But to just and basically I got involved with phone calls, to the Coast Guard around 10 o'clock at night. But just think, somebody's willing to do a 22-hour round trip, day trip, 500 miles just to put the boat in the water.
They call that commitment, and the rest of us call it insanity.
Insanity. He left at 4 in the morning and didn't get back until 2:15 in the morning.
Lord have mercy. Wow. Well, it's like I said, we are making progress. Ramps are opening up. Again, for me, fishing is it's like my blood. And I haven't been able to do it in a while, and it does bother me. It really does. There's just something about being able to go, throw a line in the water, even if I don't catch anything, which is not normal, but it happens. That's what happens when you go fishing. I say many times, you go fishing, it's kind of, sort of like the lottery. You don't know what you're going to get. You may get nothing, or you may get the grand prize. You don't know. What I do get is a sense of peace and calm and relaxation, and feel kind of humbled because it brings to memory the gifts that we have been given by the Creator. We have a beautiful surroundings all around us. Water on 3 sides of the state, thousands and thousands of canals. So if you're not a water person, you're in the wrong place. And I always enjoy being on the water. It's just, for me, since a young child, water has just been second nature for me.
And it doesn't matter if you're pulling off the side of the road on one of these little collection lakes that they build. There's fish in there. It doesn't matter. I always have a folding chair in my car too, actually, and I usually have a small little fishing rod. It doesn't matter because I might see something and just stop.
Yeah, I have a telescoping fishing rod and a little tackle box, a little baby tackle box, and I'll be driving around. When I was driving before all this happened, when I would be driving, I could drive anywhere from, because I cover such a wide variety, such a wide area. I go from North Fort Lauderdale all the way up to Vero, And so a lot of places that I go, they have these little lakes like you're talking about. And if it looks interesting, shoot, I'll just pull the car over, pull the rod out, put a little one of those trailers that I got from Captain Clyde at the Crappy Psychic, and throw it out there and see what I can get. And again, even if I don't catch anything, it's just the idea of being able to stop for 10 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, let everything that's going on around you stop for that period of time. It really does do you good. It's good mentally. It is good physically, because when you're under stress, you're stressing your immune system out. And everybody knows we're having a very serious problem right now with a virus going around. You want your immune system as strong as it can be. Get out there in the sun, enjoy some sunshine, go do a little fishing, peace and quiet, and you never know. You never know what difference that would make in your life if you're somebody that is out there and doing that, and you never end up coughing or catching this God-forbidden thing. It may have been what you've been doing, being out there in the sun, enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the water, having that peace and calm. That really plays a big part in our physical bodies, because when we're under stress, our bodies are tearing themselves down. So anything that you can do to help relieve that is, let me back up a minute, that is legal, moral, and ethical, then we should do that, right?
I agree 100% with you.
I have a friend of mine who is in Colorado, and they were telling me that they're in the physical, what is it? It's a physical, I can't think of the right term. Physical, shoot, I can't think of what it is. It'll come to me. Anyway, they're in the medical field, and the field that they're in, the particular field, there's very little going on. They've been laid off right now. But they're telling me that the incidence of domestic violence, the incidence of suicide, and general impatience is rising. So when you have an opportunity like today, we have a beautiful day out here. You're not supposed to go shopping if you don't need to go shopping. We can't go to the restaurant. We can't go here and there, but you can get out and enjoy the sunshine. I went out this morning. It was gorgeous. It was a nice, cool, and crisp morning this morning. I know now it's like an oven, but you can get out there and enjoy it. 15, 20 minutes. Let that sunshine hit your body. Build up some vitamin D, help your immune system. You'll be doing yourself a lot of good, besides the fact that it gets kind of old being in the house all the time. That's what's driving me crazy. I had nowhere to go. I think I'm deemed an essential business. I wasn't told that I couldn't do work. The problem is all the people that I do work for, they're non-essential businesses. So even though I'm open for business, my customers are not. So I'm just doing the best I can. And one of the ways that I'm coping with it is looking at things like what Bruce put up. Stay positive, because it's too easy to get negative. And once you get into that negative slide, it's kind of like greased lightning. You just deeper and deeper and deeper. I don't want to get into that darkness. I'd rather find something that will bring positivity back into my life, because right now we need that more than anything else.
And you know what I think is great is when I go out, very rarely, which I do, just to drive around the block, there's so many people out walking, some people in the streets.
Yeah,
I know you walk on the sidewalk. Yeah. And it's almost like a pinball machine. If you look at those people as the little pegs on a pinball machine.
That's one of the good things.
They're scattered all over the roads. I love it.
That's one of the good things about this, that, the few that there are, is people, I see people more, in this last month, I have seen more people out here in my neighborhood walking, whether they're walking their dog, whether they're walking with their children, whether they're walking with their spouse, more people in this last month getting out there and enjoying what we have. Maybe in a way, kind of, sort of forced, because you're in the house all day long, it gets old quick. But the ability to get out there and enjoy and see each other and wave, and, it's better than being in the home. It's better than feeling down. It's better than feeling depressed. And now with things opening back up, my gosh, we can go fishing.
It's going to be strange. It's going to be strange when we're released and we can get back out in the car and go someplace. I don't know. By habit, I get in the car and I go to a particular restaurant, forgetting that it's closed. I'm sitting in the parking lot thinking I have a front row seat until I figure out it's closed. So normalcy would be great.
Mm. Well, I was going to have Rachel and Margaret on, but I just got a text. They're not feeling well. and they had a difficult night last night, so they won't be able to come on this morning. I was hoping that I could get them on. You know what I enjoy about them? They have this fantastic imagination about, what was that one thing, Carolyn?
Blueberry hot sauce.
Yes. Oh, man. So, again, a phenomenal imagination. I was hoping I could have them on. I'll have them on next week. Hopefully all is well with them. They did have a rough time last night, so they're not going to be able to make it today. But they are with the fishmongerapproved.com. Margaret is a chef, and Rachel is the marketing aspect. And they have a phenomenal website. If you haven't been to their website, it's fishmongerapproved.com, and recipes, videos, all kinds of stuff there. Again, with us being inside, and I don't know how many people are ordering out. I mean, the only way you can get anything from ordering out is to have to go pick it up and bring it back. So you end up being at home anyway. So I think, in my experience anyway, I've been doing a lot more cooking at home since this has started than before it started, and having someone like them come on and kind of share that imagination and kind of keep you on your edge, if you will. So anyway, I'll have them on next week. Fishmongerapproved.com. You can find the website there. Anyway, so let's talk a little bit about Atlas Trax for a minute, because we've talked about that a couple of times today and really didn't get into some of the nitty-gritty part of it. We've talked about the portable. I know that I've said many times the portable thing is about the size of a credit card. It's not as thin as a credit card, but it's about the overall size of a credit card, which makes it absolutely viable to anything, whether it's anything from, my gosh, a horse. We're looking at horses out here where I'm at, to an iceberg, to an airplane, to a boat, to an individual. This is the most important thing that I think it could be utilized by this technology, an individual. God forbid you get out there. I keep thinking about the story about there was two young men, 15 and 16 or 16-year-olds, went out of Jupiter Inlet. This is probably about a year ago. These kids were kids on the water like I was, and just loved the water. Something happened while they were out there. They ended up finding their bodies. I don't know. I don't think they found their bodies. They found a boat, and I don't know if they ever found the bodies again. I think about something like that, and I said, God, if they only had Atlas Trax with them, that could have easily been avoided, because if somebody was watching what was going on, they would have seen something went wrong very quickly. So that's one of the most beautiful things about having this. Something you can slip in your pocket, and, let's say that you're going to take a trip. You're here in Florida, and you've got to take a trip in your car somewhere. And your family, me, if anybody I know is taking a trip, the first thing I ask them, call me when you get to where you're going. I want to know that you're okay. You don't even have to, they can call you, but you don't have to have them call you. You can have this thing, you can track them. You can see the progress that they're making. But this is only one thing. Atlas Trax also has an alarm system, correct?
Yes, absolutely. We have a alarm system that can be scaled up and fancy for use on a boat, with door sensors and snap sensors, like Bruce was talking about. If someone pops a snap off to see what you have, what kind of electronics, it immediately sounds a siren, and if they have a tracker, we'll send them an email. So that's an amazing thing to have. But we could scale it down for something is like a trailer, landscape trailer. For $300, someone can get a siren, the alarm box, a couple door sensors, and a 60-foot micro cable. So if somebody even pulls a jet ski trailer out of your driveway or landscape trailer, you could tether bicycles together very inexpensively, and say a bike rental shop. So for very low money, to detour that thief is just amazing. And to just double back for these trackers, I had a gentleman call me this week. He took his tracker off his boat, jumped a flight to Boston or something, and had to transport a boat. And he just took his tracker, so his wife knew she saw him get on the plane, she saw him get off the commercial airline, and she saw he was doing the delivery. Didn't even have to panic or call, like you said. Didn't have to bother him on the cell phone. Could see him every 10 minutes where he was going, and with an included map. And it's just peace of mind. And I was telling you about a Coast Guard event this weekend, if I could share that with our listeners.
Yeah.
Here's a perfect example. This gentleman told his family he was going fishing, didn't really tell them anything else. Drove all the way to Sanibel Island, dumped his boat in the water, went 80 miles offshore. At 9:30 at night, the children called me freaking out. They had me on the phone, they had a speakerphone to someone else, and the Coast Guard was on the other side. They hadn't heard from them. It was 10-foot seas. They were really worried. I was able to log on, see that they were 9 miles offshore, tell the girls on the phone, let the Coast Guard go. I'll call them next, and assure them that it was very slow going. The weather was really bad. They're pointing in the right direction. Just that peace of mind. And who knows, that Coast Guard probably would have sent up a helicopter at 10:30 at night looking for a boat with no moon. So, that's a little bit difficulty. We were able to tell them the latitude, longitude, the distance from the shore, the speed they were going, and when I expected them to get to the boat ramp. And then, again, that gentleman pulled his boat out of the boat ramp at 11:30 at night, drove all the way across the state of Florida again, and got in his driveway at 2:15. So it's just so important. Look, that whole event might have turned a different direction.
Could have gone really sour.
And just the panic of the family members.
It could have gone really sour. So my question to people is, what is peace of mind worth to you? Because that's when you look at something like this, and a lot of people, I'm sure the first question they ask, well, how much does it cost? What is peace of mind worth to you? First of all, it doesn't cost that much. It's like $1 a day. But let's put that aside for a minute. How much is peace of mind worth to you? Because with having something like this, and your spouse takes off in a boat, or your spouse takes off in a car, like I said earlier, you're going to take a trip. Honey, I'll be back in a week. I got to drive up to whatever. I've got business got to take care of. You can follow them step by step. You don't have to call them. You don't have to be worried about them. You will know exactly what's going on. What's that worth? Is it worth $1 a day to you? It's worth $1 a day to me easily. I do that. You don't need a rocket scientist to figure that out.
I'll tell you what else is exciting too, Riscala, is those trackers are typically more, for people. Yes, I carry mine, but I added to our Atlas Trax line a tracker that is a special price now, personal tracker that's only $50 and $10 a month.
Wow!
So you could zip tie that to your rain jacket, take it on your bicycle ride. It's so affordable, especially with hurricane season coming up the entire, Florida coast. Our listeners up in South Carolina have to go far offshore to do any good fishing grounds. So now, if someone has the tracker on the boat for the vessel and at least a tracker on the person, it's just so affordable.
My goodness! So it's $50 for the tracker. Is that what you said? $50?
Yes, $50 is a special price we're doing on the trackers, probably till Memorial Day.
Wow!
It's a total personal tracker. It's satellite, and it has some of these even have the ability to do a quick text message or an SOS. So you can click a button and say "I'm fine" if you want to. And the service is only $10 a month.
With what you do, the technology that you have. Again, I'm a techno freak. It's like somebody who has a drug addict problem. That my addiction is electronics. I just love electronics. So you had told me about something a while back. It just came to mind. Something about a hotspot. Hotspot? Is that you? Did you tell me about that?
Yes, I did. So that's a really fun device, and I always have funny stories from customers because they always put things to the test. It's a small little device that actually turns up to 8 smartphones or laptops into your own satellite network. So if you're out on your boat, or you're in the middle of the state, or you're hiking somewhere with no cell service, you simply put this device down, find a tree stump, or find someplace to put it in a clear sky, and you can actually be 50 feet away from it, use your existing phone to log on to it, and now make phone calls, text, surf the internet if you need to. What else? You can get weather reports, emergency weather reports, and it's also a locator with an SOS button. So if you hit that SOS button, 2 people that you select will get that notice that you're in some kind of trouble with a latitude and longitude location. So it's a great way to be able to work if you're offshore, or if your cell service isn't working, or out in the mountains and just doing a hike that, you get a little stuck, you can't get cell phone coverage. And I had a gentleman yesterday drive halfway across, again, Florida, stop, pull over on the side of the road, put it out in the grass, and just kind of play with it out there because he wanted to see if it could.
Wow.
And, it's just a great safety device. And those are half price now, too. They're $250 to buy the unit. It's amazing how we want everyone to be safe, whatever that piece of equipment is. We're doing satellite phones, which we've never done before. They're giving away free satellite phones, and the service is only $65 a month.
What?
So there's just so much that's out there that it's
Holy smokes!
Especially before the hurricane season, we're going to be pushing everybody have some kind of safety device.
Having one of these hotspots to me would be a vital thing if you're somebody who knows you're going to be in isolated areas where the reception is not all that great. This is a perfect resolution to that issue. And how many? 8? Up to 8 smartphones?
Yes, up to 8 smartphones.
Wow.
And what usually happens is on the boats, the captain or the owner will have the main login. You can sign on as a guest and use your own phone. And why is that important? Because now all of your contacts and your texts that you've done, you're seeing through your phone still. You don't have to necessarily enter all the phone numbers, write them down on a piece of paper. So it's using your existing
That's awesome.
Android or iPhone, and it's fun to play with. I test mine all the time. They're waterproof. The battery lasts a long time, and we even have these solar trackers now. People love them because they can put them on temporary, put them on a barge, or charge them for an hour on your vessel and then hide it underneath the boat. You don't have to worry about hardwiring it, and it lasts for quite some time. Construction equipment. I drove down the road the other day. Someone had one of our cell trackers on top of a big backhoe because that way they know where it is on the job site. And so we're even now in cellular trackers, Riscala, you didn't even know that. A plug-in cellular tracker, you could get a new driver in the home, or there's a kid going to college, you want him to be able to see if he goes over a certain speed, or when did he start the car for the first time during the day, or when is it started, when is it idle, where did it stop, what includes maps. I'm testing mine. Am I in front of Walgreens? Just for just $20 a month. All of this technology. If someone steals your car, you know exactly when the key was started or where it moved, or did it go over 20 miles an hour. Just so much alert data that's available to just, keep someone safe or manage construction contractor crews of vehicles. And you could buy one. You could buy 100. So it's a lot of fun with that too. I'm testing ours. I love it.
That is awesome. That is awesome. So we have several different things. We're not limited to just the portable. My favorite is the portable, but if we're not limited to just that, we have the alarm systems. We have the hotspot. I guess is that what you call it, a hotspot?
Yes, I like hotspot. And
we have the personal, something that's made for the individual themselves. All of it is affordable. But again, putting the affordable component of it aside, how much is peace of mind worth for you? Because that's really what we're talking about here. We're talking about peace of mind. In my experience, and I'm sure that if you know anybody in law enforcement, they would reinforce what I'm about to tell you. In my experience, if you have something stolen from you, the sooner you get it back, the faster you can retrieve it, the less damage, and the more in condition it will be. Let me back up a minute. The more it will be in the condition it was before it was stolen, the faster you can get it back. The longer that it takes, the more damage and the more the odds of you getting it back go down. So that's the advantage of having something like this. You are immediately notified within minutes, right, Carolyn?
Yeah, absolutely. I program every device that's on motion. So as soon as that asset moves, it'll send a report, a quick email or text, and then every 10 minutes that includes a map. So it's pretty hard to get 10 minutes down the road or 10 minutes down a waterway and not have somebody at least chasing you. So you're right.
Yeah.
The quicker you get it back, the quicker you're going to make sure that there's no damage to a vehicle, a boat, jet skis, or, dangerous accidents. Look at people that drive these huge trailers when they steal them down the road at crazy amounts of speed and end up crashing and injuring other people that are totally innocent. So there's so many things factors that really go into this in play. And law enforcement, so many law enforcement officers use our trackers personally and for apprehensions. So they, they'll go out and fish, or they'll go out and apprehend and do drug busts because the unit's portable, like you mentioned, and they can take it with them and on their operations. So, it's just we have a here's a crazy thing you didn't even hear about. We have a court-appointed tracker on a guy's vessel in Key West who kept fishing in wrong fishing grounds. So what did we do? We progressed. We did a map overlay for the Fish and Wildlife of what the fishing area was on this guy's map. So they can click on, monitor, did he go in the red area, which is the no-fish zone, or didn't he? And so we progress as people have, being a small business, we're able to. You want to see us have an overlay of a crab area? Sure, we can do that.
Wow.
You want us to do icebergs? Sure, we can do that. And, you know, that's the other thing, too, is I answer my phone at 10 o'clock at night because someone says, please call me, it's an emergency. Big box stores are not going to have someone return a phone call.
That's the advantage and I hope when all of this settles down that people will keep this in mind. That's the advantage of dealing with a small business, a family-owned small business. You're going to be treated like family because in a way you are. You are supporting them through the services that they're giving you. And when this all settles down, please try to give them your business whenever possible. Look for small, locally owned, family-owned businesses and focus on them versus the big boys, because the big boys have all the money. And anytime they get in trouble, you see what happens. The government steps in, we're going to bail you out. What happens to the little guys? We don't get a bailout. We get zilch. We get goose eggs. We get zeros. What we get is the assistance from those people who come to us for our whatever service that we provide, and they become part of our family. So please just kind of bear that in mind. When this is all settles down, try to find a small family-owned business to deal with to get your stuff. I know some of the stuff isn't available there. You're not left with a choice, but that you can do that. Bear that in mind, because that's how we're going to build each other back up again when this finally settles down and all the dust is gone. So let me welcome my next guest, who used to be my co-host for, oh my gosh, I think a little over a year, and did an excellent job doing it. And her name is Pam Wirth. She is one of the top kayak anglers here in Florida. And I don't know if she's on the water or not. Good morning, Pam. Are you there, Pam?
Yes, I am. I'm sorry. I had you on for a second so you couldn't hear all the wind.
Oh.
Oh,
How
that's
you
a
guys
good sign.
doing?
That's a good sign,
Hey.
Pam. You said wind. That means you must be out.
Yes, ma'am. How are you? I missed talking with you.
Oh, absolutely. I'll have to get with you again. But yeah, tell us what you're doing.
Well, the last few weeks, really, the last few months, I've been up towards Finhatchee, which is, they call it also the Big Bend area. It's north of Homosassa, if that helps the listener. Today, I am in Tampa, kind of more toward the Clearwater area, and had a couple rat reds, not much of anything else. But the last few months, the snook bite has been off the chain. I want to tell you, I've gotten slot snooks up on the Nature Coast every single weekend.
Wow.
And they are delicious.
Oh my gosh. I'm in envy here. I haven't been able to go fishing in 3 weeks. I was telling Carolyn earlier, it's kind of like a drug addict, you know, when they can't get whatever that drug is that they go through these withdrawal symptoms. I feel like I'm going through withdrawal.
Exactly. I have out here with me a dear friend of mine, Sarah, who learned to fish from our shop. She used to come to our classes. And she's really a very accomplished land-based angler. But all because of the virus, all our beaches are closed. So I grabbed her up and put her in my, the kayak that you've seen, Riscella, because I have a new one now. So I'm letting her borrow my old one just to get her out on the water, and she's just having the time of her life.
Oh, wow. So you mentioned you got a new one. Is it bigger than the old one? Is it the same size? Is there any more bells and whistles?
A lot more bells and whistles. Technically, it's a little shorter, but it rides bigger. It's a lot faster. It's called, it's by Native Watercraft, and it's called the Slayer Max. And I want to tell you, it's fast. I beat we were in a tournament about a month ago, Linnea, and choppy water, and man, I beat the pants off her, and this girl's 20 years younger than me. She's an excellent angler. But, yeah, she goes, gosh, Pam. I go, no, it's fast. So I haven't taken her offshore yet because, the kingfish are running now, so I really wanted to go offshore. But unfortunately, I need to launch from a beach. Otherwise, I have like 10 miles just to get offshore.
Yeah.
You know, if I launch in a canal system.
That's something I like about the ability to have something like you're not relying on an outboard motor. You're relying on yourself. And is this thing now the new one that you got? Is it light enough for you to drag it down the beach, or you just put it on the trailer and take the trailer down?
It's probably about the same weight as my old one, maybe a little bit lighter. But it comes with wheels. I wheeled it down.
Oh.
We didn't launch from a boat ramp. We just launched called Pop Stancil's Park here in Clearwater area. And we used to be able to drive right down to the water, but it was a kayak launch, and crabbers and other people, residential people, launched their motorboats from there. So the park got all upset about it because it is technically a kayak launch. So they put big poles in the way. So now I can't drive my car down to the edge of the water. It's like 100 yards. So I just put the wheels on and away we go. Just like
cool.
when I come to Pompano and I fish.
Like I said, you're not reliant upon only yourself, really. When it all boils down, when all said and done, you're relying on just yourself. If you're able, if you're an able-bodied person, there you go. And you get out on the water. You don't have to carry fuel with you. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. That's phenomenal.
Nope. And this one's faster. My just regular speed is about 2 knots, and there was a storm coming up last weekend, so Paul and I were headed back in. He has a canoe, and I was up to almost 5 knots.
Wow.
He had to stop his trolling motor and turn his regular motor on. He's like, "Girl," but it was cold and rainy, and the wind was howling. And, when your whole body is vibrating because you're so cold, you can really get up speed.
Pam, I want to ask you a question on a kayak because I'm unfamiliar with some of it. So you're propelling yourself by pedaling, correct?
That's true. Thank you for the question. Most people know about Hobie, and the Hobie is kind of like a Stairmaster, and there's nothing wrong with it. It's one of the first ones out, and it's an excellent ride. But for me, at my age, doing a Stairmaster is pretty tough for me. And it has kind of what we call a swish-swish movement. Mine it's like riding a bicycle. It's a bicycle function, and it turns a prop. So I get some really good torque out of it.
So how would you turn the boat? How would you turn your kayak? You obviously still have a paddle. So if you wanted to do a hard turn, are you using a paddle or using your propulsion? Or both? I
have a rudder system. It's a hand rudder system. All the pedal drives do that. So they have a hand rudder system. This one happens to be by my left hand, and you can turn it right or left, and it turns the rudder in the back of the boat right or left.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. Well, next time I come down there, I'll bring 2 kayaks, and we'll have to go play if they ever open the beaches down there.
Absolutely. Or you can actually. How hard is it to launch off of a dock at high tide?
It depends on how high the water. How far do you have to jump down? That would be the determining.
2 feet maximum.
Well, if you can shimmy down. I'm not good at I'm okay at shimmying down. It's the getting my big butt back up again.
I'm close enough to Deerfield Beach or Pompano where Joe is, so we can always launch.
Wow.
There you go.
You just reminded me of. There are times when my mind will say, "Yeah, go do that," and my body says, "You just try that, pal."
I know. One of my favorite bands growing up in my 20s and early 30s was Little Feat. Part of them are still around. Lowell George has passed on, but they have a song. It's called "You Know You're Getting Old When Your Body Can't Do What Your Mind Sets Out." I reflect that comment.
Oh, my. Well, I kind of live that. So you just reminded me of that, of what you said a short minute ago. Yeah, there are times when I have to remind myself of my age because I don't know if this is true for you, but for me, it's like mentally I don't age. My body ages, but mentally I don't age. And I'll go to do something, and I'll have to go, wait a minute. You don't want to do that right now. You're liable to hurt yourself. You're not in your 30s anymore. And you're a little older than that now. So I have to constantly remind myself That.
Yep, I agree. I'm the same way, but it's not until I'm in the middle of a situation where I go, I'm in a situation. And I'm officially, my birthday was in April, so I'm officially an old person right now.
Well, happy birthday.
Thanks.
My.
Pam, are you fishing right now?
Yeah, I am. I'm looking at some mallard ducks. I'm over by a protected island, and it's just beautiful. I have egrets out here, and the nice thing about the kayak is it's stealthy. So I've got white pelicans, regular Florida pelicans. I've got a pair of mallard ducks, which are down from the winter, and I get a big old vulture too.
Oh man!
But it's just gorgeous. It's just gorgeous right here. It smells a little birdie, but it's really pretty.
Have you hooked up to anything today?
I got a couple rat reds. The guy next to me was using pinfish, and he got a nice 29-inch red, so he was doing real well. I'm just out here making sure that Sarah has a good time.
What a good person
and
you
she
are.
doesn't go swimming. or if she does go swimming, we pull her back out.
There you go. Well, it's good. It's good to go in pairs, right? Isn't that what they say? It's always good
Absolutely.
to go in pairs.
Safety. And I'm wearing my personal flotation device.
Cool.
Yeah, a lot of the tournaments got canceled, so this is probably the easiest year I've had for non-tournaments. I think I had three tournaments, and that was it, because everything got canceled because there's no captain's meeting, because you can't get within 6 feet. What's becoming really popular is the online tournaments, Tournament X.
Online.
So more and more people are turning to the online tournaments.
Wow. I've never heard of that. What is an online tournament?
Tournament X does it. A lot of the big bass tournaments are doing it, where basically, us, most kayakers are CPR, catch, photograph, release, CPR.
Yep.
So what you do is you have a couple makers boards by definite makers, or they give you a measuring board that you have to use. And to keep it fair, you get a token like at midnight the night before. And in your photograph, you have to, obviously you have the fish in the photograph on the board, and you have to have that token in there. That shows that you couldn't have, caught that fish before you received your token. And then you upload that to the Tourney X or whatever function, and you can fish against people all over the state or all over the country, really. If you're the bass guys, they do it all over the country.
Wow. That's cool. I couldn't.
It's a lot of fun.
I was trying to figure out when you were saying an online tournament. How are they going to do that online? That makes sense. Wow. And you can still compete. You can still enjoy the competition of being in a tournament. Just the way you turn in your info is a little different, but that's pretty ingenious. That's pretty clever.
And the guys at Offshore Anglers are doing that too. And I guess they're going out for pelagic fish, dolphin and wahoo, and they say photograph the fish and email it into this general Gmail account, and do it by 4:00 and see what you get.
Huh.
Yep.
Wow.
Yes. And it's like sailfish or CPR anyway. I mean, technically by law you can keep them, but nobody with common sense keeps a sailfish anymore, unless for some reason maybe it got super gut hooked or something like that, and there's no way the fish will survive. But in the long run, it's really going to help the sport because it leaves a lot more fish in the water. Yeah, some of them I'm going to hear, well, some of them are going to die anyway. Yeah, that's going to happen. But at least they have a fighting chance. And the people who fish, especially sailfish, really, the people I know, really try hard and make sure that fish is well revived before they let it go. It's not you just catch it, unhook it, and turn it loose. On the tournaments, we have what we call help boats. And the boats will actually grab the fish from you. If you need help unhooking it, unhook it, and then they'll hold on to that fish in the water and troll it as long as it takes until that fish gives them a lot of attention and takes off.
Wow. Well, this is what happens when we're having a good time. I'm running out of time here. I'm going to take a break shortly, but before we go, Miss Pam, I know that you work at a place in Tampa, right? Is that right? You work at a place in Tampa?
Yes.
What's the name of the...
It's Tampa Fishing Outfitters. Thank you for asking. and they are still open. Now, because we supply a lot of commercial captains, we're not open where you can walk in the store, but we are open if you call ahead or if you come to the door. If best thing is know what you want or have a photo of it. If you don't, we're not going to get frustrated. Explain what you need. We'll bring you a few things out and say, is this what you were talking about? Until we get it right. So just don't get frustrated with us. We'll find the lure. The only thing that we ask is you don't touch everything, because if we take it out to show you and you actually touch it and want it back, we're then wiping everything down again.
Yeah. All right, Miss Pam, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you taking the time. I wish you tight lines today, an awesome and safe and wonderful day. I'm going to let Carolyn say goodbye to you, and then we're going to go to a break.
Absolutely, Pam. Good luck fishing there, and please stay in touch when you get on the East Coast here. Let's drop some kayaks in.
I will. Thank you so much, Carolyn. Miss you both. Take care.
God bless.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show with your host, Scala Stevens. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Thinking of moving? Before you do anything else, call Diane Whittick. She provides a concierge service. Things like having your home or condo packed and shipped, even take care of your home repairs or upgrades. Diane has the expertise to get it done. As a seller, you will have constant contact. She will furnish you with bids on any services that might need completion: air conditioning, plumbing, handyman, and even cleaning. Living up north and have a home to sell here in South Florida? Just give her the keys, address, and a signature. Your payment will be wired when the property is sold. That's right, Diane does it all. Thinking of buying? Diane has great listening skills. Tell her what you want, give her your budget, and like a genie, she will make your real estate wish come true. There's no regrets when you choose Diane Whittick. To reach Diane, call 561-247-5478. That's 561-247-5478.
Do you need toner for your Epson, Hewlett-Packard, Canon, Brother, Apple, or Sharp printers? Look no further than Laser Technologies. In business for over 20 years, they offer the lowest prices on toner on the web. They can also repair your laser printers and toners fast and easy. Call their expert staff today at 561-792-9600 or email us at service@laser-technologies.com for all your toner needs. All toner is shipped nationwide. Why wait? Get the lowest prices on toner. Call or email us today.
Do you have an unusual pet? Did you know that the Rainforest Clinic in Loxahatchee specializes in exotic pets? They see pets that other vets don't. Parrots and chickens, ducks, geese, turtles, snakes, goats, pigs, lizards, and even monkeys. Are you a beekeeper? Dr. Clubb, the first of her kind in the area? Yes, she takes care of bees as well. Dr. Susan Clubb has decades of experience and known around the world for her reputation as a premier avian vet. Located at 3319 E Road in Loxahatchee, just a short distance north of Okeechobee Road, you will find a modern clinic with in-house labs, which allow you to get your test answers quickly. You can find them online at www.susanclub.com. That's www.susanclubb.com. Or you can reach her at 561-795-4878. It's Dr. Susan Clubb. That's 561-795-4878. The Rainforest Clinic located in Loxahatchee. 561-795-4878.
GTG, BRB, OMW, be there in a few. You may think that these kinds of texts are fine because of their length, and you can easily send them at a stoplight. But no, answering one text can take your attention away from the road for 5 seconds. And traveling at 55 miles an hour, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Make good decisions, don't text and drive.
While other stations just talk a good game, we win it.
Hey, sounds like somebody's having a lot of fun.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing it more and on. When the sun shines all day. It just calls me a grouper. So I'm fishing it more and on. Oh yeah. Fishing it more and on.
Good morning from the Sunshine State. Broadcasting from Palm Beach County, it's the Fishing in Florida Show. Sundays from 8 to 10 a.m. on the WCET FM network. And now, here's your host, Riscala.
All right, we are back. You're listening to the Fishing in Florida show. This morning I have Carolyn with Atlas Trax with me. I like to say if you want to protect what you love to the max, you got to talk to my friend Carolyn at Atlas Trax. A big thank you to our home network, WCET FM 101.7 out of Columbia. A big thank you to HighPoint Radio, who carries our show as well out of 1690 out of New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. And a big thank you to KYAH 540 out of Utah. Marina Rock Radio, our latest affiliate, they are out of Miami. They are a tune-in station. If you have the tune-in app, tune in to Marina Rock Radio and you can catch us there. We will have an app available within the next couple of weeks where you can just download the app, a very simple, very straightforward app. It is only a player. That's all it is. There's no push notifications. There's no commercials. There's none of that stuff. Very straightforward. That should be within the next couple of weeks. We're making it easier and easier for those who want to listen to tune in. If you want to dial in, you can do that, 701-719-9704. Excuse me. And if you are on Facebook, we are on Facebook. Give us a like if you're going to go on the Facebook page. That makes us more relevant on the searches. And you can click on Contact Us on the Facebook page, and you can listen live that way. All of our archive links are set up on the Facebook page. If you're not a Facebook fanatic, we are on YouTube, but because of the way things are set up, I think you can find us if you put in FF, Fishing in Florida, FF, or put in Fishing in Florida, but you'll have to search because I've tried to be among the top responses to that, but unfortunately we're still way down on the bottom. Got to figure out how to get us back up a little faster. Anyway, let me welcome back my co-host, that is Carolyn with Atlas Trax. Welcome back, Miss Carolyn.
Absolutely, Riscala. I was just watching this video again of the Hillsborough Inlet, and you can't tell you how many boats are going. I think I'm doing a little count. I think I'm up to 47 boats.
Well, let me welcome my next guest, who is, it's always such an honor to have her on. And I kind of envy her because she's down there in my fantasy land down there in the Keys. And her name is Angelia. She's also known as the Florida Salty Cowgirl. Good morning, Miss Angelia.
Good morning, and I am right there with Carolyn. I am out on the boat, and I am counting the boats out on the reef fishing. It's absolutely beautiful today.
Yay! So
yeah, so if it's a little noisy, my apologies, but I've been out. We were out all day yesterday. Thank God we got the boat out of the marina, out of the barn, and into the water. Thank you, Lord. But, yeah, so yesterday was a great day of fishing. We hit the afternoon troll, and there weren't many boats out yesterday, but it was a little bit rough. But today is just gorgeous. I've been out here since the sun came up, and I'm looking at Davis and Crocker Reef just south of Conch Reef, just south of Tavernier Creek right now. And like Carolyn, I'm counting 30-some boats out there yellowtailing, which is just a beautiful sight to see right now. It is just gorgeous. So, and I drove by the sandbar yesterday early, the Isla Morada sandbar, and there was probably 30 or 40 boats out there, well spaced, I might add. So everybody seems to be obeying the rules, but still getting out and getting some sunshine and getting their fish on. So that's nice. And by the way, guys, the kingfish are just coming in one after another, and big size. So somebody didn't tell the kingfish that the water temp has come up above their, normal level. But anybody who
you gotta wonder what's being underfished. I mean, with all these, the boat traffic during these prime fishing times is down. So these guys might think they're on vacation.
Exactly, but it's really strange to have the mahi coming in and big kingfish still biting. It's really just interesting. The other interesting thing, guys, is the bait has just been everywhere on the top of the water. Yesterday, got a couple really nice-sized sea turtles that swam alongside us for a bit, and bait was just popping everywhere on the surface, and I'm talking big bait. And just 15 minutes ago, I reeled in yet another kingfish, and I've got a box full of them right now. Anybody who wants fish dip, put your order in. But, yeah, we had dolphins just swarming the boat, and here I am leaning over the bow trying to videotape these dolphins, and next thing you know, I got lines going off.
Oh, my gosh.
And you could actually see the dolphins back behind the boat, right about where my line got hit. And the fish was going nuts, and I'm thinking, well, if I had a pot of dolphins hunting around me, I'd be going nuts too. But the dolphins were just pulling up, and they were just pulling up bait, and they were hunting, and you could clearly see them right back where our trolling lines were. Really,
awesome.
The action out here is just amazing. I think that I can tell you for sure that on land down here, the wildlife has gotten much more brazen, much more bold because there's not been so much human activity. We actually make jokes that the birds are loud down here right now because it's so quiet. But like the iguanas, the birds, everything is just, it seems like they're getting used to people not being around. So they're getting, much more bold and much more brazen.
Wow.
And it's almost like the fish and the wildlife out in the water is kind of doing the same. The dolphins, the turtles, the stingrays, they seem like they haven't had many boats around for a while, so everybody's just kind of doing their natural thing, which is really nice to see. It's just lovely. But I will admit that looking out across the reef and seeing everybody out there yellowtailing like they usually do is really nice. Really nice.
Here in Palm Beach County and Broward and Dade, I believe, they shut down quite a few of the boat ramps, if not all of them. And I know the last time you and I spoke, they didn't not only shut down, they shut down the traffic going into the Keys. Is that still happening where if you don't live down there, you're not going in?
It absolutely is still happening, and they've gotten stricter and stricter and stricter every day because, just like always, they had issued re-entry permits at the actual sheriff's department down here in the Keys if you proved your home ownership or your permanent residency down here. And, of course, somebody in Miami was making counterfeit ones.
Oh.
So now you can't get in with a reentry permit anymore. They collected over 200 fraudulent counterfeit reentry stickers. Well, they also made work permit stickers for people who work down here every day so they could get in easier. Well, they picked up another few hundred counterfeit work permits the other day.
Wow.
And so people are they're turning away 200 plus cars a day at our roadblock down here. It's at mile marker 112. So they let you get all the way across the 18-mile stretch before you hit the roadblock. So you're going a long drive down and a long drive back to get turned back around. Now, all of your public parks, all of your public boat ramps are absolutely closed.
Oh, they are. They are still closed.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely closed. In fact, even anybody who's familiar with the Keys, we don't have a lot of beachy area that's natural, of course, but we have a lot of causeway area. Even the little normal causeway areas where there's a lot of people on the weekends and you can pull off down into the mangroves and get in the sun or what have you and do a little fishing, they're orange coned off along the road. I mean, They just really don't want people gathering in your normal gathering places or any place that would even invite or intrigue tourists to come down, I'd said before, if you're lucky enough to have your boat in the water behind your house, you can fish freely. And mine happened to be stuck in the marina in a barn. And there's sort of skeleton crews at the marina because there's not a whole lot going on. So not only did I get it out of the barn and put in the water yesterday, but they washed it for me. So thank goodness to Tavernier Creek Marina. Thank goodness. Good job, guys. But so I've been out here on the water since I got the boat put in the water since yesterday, and just glorious. Yesterday we had the Atlantic Ocean to ourselves. It was amazing. It was just crazy. But
so I have a question, really Angelia. Nice. So they can in the Monroe County launch boats from the boat storage facilities?
If you have your boat at a boat, if you come in a truck and trailer, they're not going to do it for you. You know what I mean? I've had my boat there for many, many years, and you don't want to know how much I pay on a monthly basis to keep it there. And the reason I do it is because they pull it out with a forklift and they put it on a workstation for me, and I don't have bottom paint. And that way you can take really good care of your boat, and heaven forbid Irma comes through again, they put her in the barn for me and take good care of her. But there's such a skeleton crew that you can't get anybody to get your boat out. And even if you could, did you see that? That was a fish that jumped 30 foot there. Guys, I'm sitting on the bow of the boat trying to stay out of the wind and away from the engines. And dead ahead of me, about 50 yards, a fish jumped 30 foot in the air and came straight back down like a torpedo.
Holy smokes. Wow.
That's the kind of stuff that you can't beat, But anyway.
Did you get that? What was it, a kingfish?
I have no idea. It went straight up, did a 180, and went straight back down. And my partner just came up here and pointing, and I got him on the way down. But anyway, if you're lucky enough to have a marina down here that you've done business with for many years, and you are a resident, they're being pretty understanding because we don't have a lot else to do, But no, if you somehow you happen to get past the roadblock and trailer your boat down here, it'd probably take a heck of a bribe for them to put it in the water. And there's no boat ramps open anyway.
Yeah, that's a good
unless
point.
you have a private boat ramp, boat ramps are definitely closed. And like I said, the marinas are just working on skeleton crews. They're just keeping things up. They're not really functioning like normal. So I kind of pulled some strings because I really wanted this boat in the water.
Well, we are, I don't know if you've heard up here, we are slowly, there's talk of the ramps opening up here, and further north of us, they've opened the beaches up, and they're talking about opening the beaches up here in Palm Beach County as well. So hopefully that'll work its way down to where you are, and you'll start seeing.
I had not heard that at all. That's surprising to me.
Yeah,
a neat little thing, because I know you guys know I have family in Tampa and friends all over Florida. Down here, I think because they've got us so cordoned off from the rest of the world, you cannot walk into a public establishment of any kind, not a convenience store, not a Walgreens, not a grocery store, unless you have your face covered, your mouth and your nose covered.
Wow.
And trust me, I got kicked out of places for a couple days until I just started wearing my fishing buff everywhere, because you cannot walk into the gas station to buy a bag of ice without a mask on your face down here. And I talked to my son. He goes to Publix in Tampa, and it's a free-for-all. But you go to Publix down here, they won't let you in the door unless you have your mouth and your nose covered.
It is unquestionably a different way of life down in the Keys. There's no question about it.
So you guys are talking about opening up beaches, and I can't walk into the Circle K to buy a bag of ice without having a mask on. So that's very surprising to me, although that's hopeful.
Yeah, I'm hoping that it's going to work its way down to you, and you'll start seeing some of they'll start allowing some people to come through, and maybe you can start seeing some business down there.
That would be fantastic. It's been really nice having the island so quiet to ourselves, but that would be fantastic. We'll take our tourists back.
The price
tourists.
The price that you have to pay in order to do that is quite expensive. You know, yes, you have the islands to yourself, but who pays the bills? It's the visitors that come down. You know?
But it is very surprising and very hopeful to hear that they're talking about opening the beaches back up.
Yep.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, Jacksonville, I think our beaches are open now. Palm Beach County, I think they're looking at either they're open now or they're going to be open. Broward County is discussing some beaches being open, and I had one of my guests, Bruce Marx, informed us that there's a very good possibility that boat ramps will begin to open this coming week. So there is hope on the horizon.
That is amazing. That's awesome to hear. Thank you.
Oh, thank them. Bruce was heavily involved in all of that. He opened up a Facebook page on Facebook and got people involved. And it's just the evidence. If you get people together and work together for a common goal, you can help achieve that goal much easier if they'll work together. That's what it all boils down to. Anyway,
that was kind of. I'm sorry. I was going to say I was very impressed by the entire community adhering to the face mask any public indoor area down here. I was very impressed by that. So I'm sure that that's kept it more contained down here for us.
Hopefully. I don't know. I have my own opinion about that stuff, but that's a different story. Meanwhile,
fingers crossed.
We are.
So Angelia, I know we're getting close to the end of the hour, but I just saw something Bruce Marx had posted saying Florida Keys City is about to ease a corona restrictions at Marina boat ramps. So definitely check that out, and we'll see what that's about.
Awesome! Yay! That's fantastic to hear.
All right, ladies, thank you so much. Let me say goodbye to Angelia first. Angelia is also known as the Florida Salty Cowgirl. When this settles down, if you want to do some serious fishing down in the Keys, this is the lady that you need to see. She has many years of experience with a wide variety of, primarily saltwater, but with a wide variety of species. And to reach Angelia, how can they do that?
FloridaSaltyCowgirl.com. Florida Salty Cowgirl at Gmail. Florida Salty Cowgirl on Facebook, Instagram, or on my personal phone at 813-610-0078.
All right, my dear. God bless you. Wish you an awesome day. I'll let Carolyn say goodbye to you, and then I'll say bye to Carolyn.
Absolutely. Angelia, be safe out there. Looking forward to seeing what you catch later on. I know you'll be out there until the sun goes down, so I know you.
Thank you.
All right, Miss Carolyn, thank you for being co-host today. I really appreciate it, and be looking forward to having you back on next week.
You got it. Tight lines, everybody. Be safe.
Thank you, listeners. Greatly appreciated you tuning in, and we'll be back in a week.